When setting up your Amazon FBA business legally, there are 5 steps that you're going to need to do. The first step is to start a business entity. This could be an LLC, a DBA, or an S Corp. And I'll explain what those 3 things are, which one you should choose, and how to get them later in this video. The second step is to get your EIN number, and EIN stands for Employer Identification Number, and this is free to get, and I'm gonna show you how to do that later in this video. Third step is to get a seller's permit, and depending on what state you live in, you may or may not need to do this step, but this is also free to do. Step 4 is to get a business bank account, and step 5 is to get a business credit card. Warning, these steps are easy to do, but make sure you stay till the end of the video, because if you miss one of these steps, the IRS could come knocking on your door and ask you for the proper paperwork. And make sure to like this video, because I'm going to explain how you can start your Amazon business legally, and I'm also going to be using Rocket, which is a new business that I'm going to be launching in less than a month, as an example. And I'm going to show you how we actually set up this business from a legal standpoint. And before I go into the first step and explain to you how to set up your own business entity, I do want to let you know that in 1 week, I'm going to be opening up my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Product Formula. And there's only going to be 50 spots available to join this program, because I want to make sure that it's only a small group of people that can join, so I can give as much one-on-one time to every single person that joins. So click on the link in the description to join the waitlist for this program, because when you do that, you'll get to learn more about this program, and you'll be the first one to know when I actually open this program, so you can make sure that you join before the spots fill up. But now let me explain to you how to set up your Amazon business from a legal standpoint. And the first step is to set up a business entity. And there's 3 different types of business entities that I recommend you use. Either an LLC, a DBA, or an S Corp. There are other types of business entities out there, but for 99% of the people watching this video, an LLC, a DBA, or an S Corp are going to be the right option for you. A DBA stands for Doing Business As, and this is the most affordable way to start a business entity. And it allows you to get the paperwork to open up a business bank account under whatever business name that you want to use. The con with a DBA is it doesn't provide any type of legal protection. On the other hand, an LLC, which stands for Limited Liability Company, gives you a lot more protection. Basically, if someone ever tried to sue your business, it separates your business from you. Where if your business is a DBA and someone sues your business, they can actually come after your personal assets. The con with a limited liability company is it costs more money to open, and it can range anywhere from around $150 all the way up to $800, depending on what state you live in. And for Rocket, the new business that we're going to be launching in about a month, we actually went with an LLC, because this is a product that people are going to consume. There's always a chance that someone has a negative reaction and they want to sue the company, and we wanted to make sure that there was legal protection between the company and ourselves. And for this business, I partnered with Willem, who is a random student in my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Product Formula, and he decided to register his LLC in Wyoming. And to do that, we went with wyregisteredagent.com, and it cost around $150 to file, plus we had to pay another $150 to the state of Wyoming. On the other hand, when I created my first passion product company, Performance Nut Butter, because I live in California, it's a lot more expensive to start an LLC. It cost around $250 for me to submit my LLC through LegalZoom, and then I had to pay the state of California another $800. In fact, in California, every single year, you have to pay California $800 just to have an LLC, whether or not your company makes any money. The other type of business that you can create is what's called an S Corp, or a small business corporation. And this has some small tax benefits, but there are some other requirements that make it kind of a pain to start an S Corp. What I recommend for most people deciding between an LLC or an S Corp is to choose the LLC, but when you fill out your paperwork, you can choose to be taxed as an S Corp. So this gives you all the benefits of an LLC, plus it gives you the tax benefits of an S Corp. However, if you're not worried about being sued and you don't think you're gonna make that much money with your business and you just wanna do it in a very affordable fashion, a DBA is fine for new entrepreneurs. Step 2 is to get your EIN number, which is basically like a social security number for your business. When you file taxes and do other business related things, you're going to need this number, and it's free to get. You're just gonna go to this website right here, and I'll put a link to this website in the description down below, and and you're gonna follow step by step this process. Again, it's completely free. Step 3 is to get a seller's permit, which is also free to do. You're just gonna go to Google, type in whatever state your business is located in, space seller's permit. Now you'll see a lot of people that wanna charge you money to help you to set up your seller's permit. Do not pay for this. Same thing's true if you file your business with LegalZoom or other services. They're gonna try to upcharge you and make you pay for a seller's permit. Do not pay for this. It's free and easy to get. You can see right here that the first actual result in Google says obtaining a seller's permit. Click on that link and you're gonna go through and you're gonna apply for your seller's permit. And you need a seller's permit for a few different reasons. First off, it allows you to pay state sales tax. In California, for any product that I sell in California, I need to collect and pay California that state tax. The second thing getting a seller's permit allows you to do is it allows you to buy items and not have to pay tax on that. Specifically, if you're buying products that you're then going to resell, your state is not gonna have you pay taxes on anything that you're purchasing that you're then going to resell. So this will allow you to save some money on your costs of goods. And I actually asked Willem, did you get a seller's permit? And this was his response.
In this case, I did not get a seller's permit at the moment. I'm based in the state of Montana, and Montana kind of has like a different sort of sales tax situation. Also, my LLC is based in Wyoming. So when I was kind of researching this in the beginning, if I remember correctly, I didn't need one in my case.
Step 4 is to get a bank account. And before I get into step 4, I do want to let you know that this is an entire series that I'm doing where I partnered with a random student and we're documenting the process of launching this product on Amazon. And you're going to want to make sure to subscribe because in the next video, we're going to be sharing with you how we actually created our Amazon seller account, including all the mistakes that we made. And when I asked Willem how he set up the bank account for Rocket Tea, this is what he said.
When I was visiting a friend in Boulder, Colorado, I just went into his Chase branch. I brought in my LLC paperwork. I brought in my EIN number, and I just talked with him about what my best options were for opening a business bank account and which credit card specifically I'd be able to open that day.
And setting up a business bank account is very easy. You just bring in your paperwork to the bank. If you have a DBA, you'll bring in that paperwork. If you have an LLC, you'll bring in that paperwork. Plus, as I mentioned, your EIN number as well. I recommend going with US Bank. They have a free business bank account, but Willem went with Chase Bank. So do some research and see what the best bank for you is. I also recommend setting up your business bank account as soon as possible so you can keep your business and your personal expenses separate. That way you can track all your business expenses and you can write all those off on your taxes. Warning, this is another thing that you're gonna wanna pay attention to. You really wanna make sure you keep your personal and your business expenses separate because if you have an LLC, but you start using your LLC for personal expenses and someone sues you and the judge sees that you're using your LLC to pay for personal expenses, you may not end up having any kind of legal protection and someone may end up being able to come after your personal assets. So the answer to this is just to make sure that you keep your business and your personal bank accounts and credit cards and all expenses separate, which leads me to step 5, which is getting a business credit card. This is the best part about opening up a new business is you get to open up business credit cards, which are going to give you free flights, free hotel stays, tons of miles and points. And Willem signed up for the Chase Ink card. I'll have a link to that down below, but I generally recommend the Amex Gold card for new business owners because the Amex Gold card gives you 5x points on a category of your choice. I generally pick advertising, meaning for every dollar I spend, I get 5 times the points on advertising. But I'll put a list of my favorite business credit cards in the description down below. A lot of these credit cards will have a bonus that if you spend $3,000 in your first 3 months, they'll give you 50,000 all the way up to 75,000 points, which is enough points to get you a round trip ticket to just about anywhere in the world. There are also other legal things that you're going to want to consider when starting your Amazon business, like do you want to get a patent or do you want to get a trademark? And for most businesses out there, you're not going to really be able to get a patent. But if you do think that your product is something that does deserve a patent, you can always file for a provisional patent, which costs you around $75, and it's good for 1 year from the time that you submit it. A real patent, if you go through and you hire a lawyer and you go through the entire process, is gonna cost you around $10,000 at least. So for most entrepreneurs, I don't recommend getting a patent, and for most products out there, you don't even really qualify for a patent. There is 2 different types of patents. There's a utility patent and there's also a design patent. On the other hand, for most Amazon entrepreneurs, I do recommend filing for a trademark. And a trademark is where you claim that you own a certain logo or a certain phrase and that no one else can sell a product that contains that logo or that phrase. And it costs around $275 to file for a trademark. And there's 2 different types of trademarks that you can do generally speaking. There is an image mark and a word mark. An image mark means that you're claiming that a certain design, a certain logo is yours, that you own it and no one else can use it. On the other hand, a word mark is claiming that a certain word, no matter what the font, no matter how it looks, that people cannot use that phrase. For instance, Coca-Cola would be a word mark. It doesn't matter how it appears. If someone puts Coca-Cola on their products, it's against the law. And it's generally much tougher to get a word mark than it is a logo mark. And for Rocket Tea, we just went with the image mark because it's so much easier to get. And in next week's video, I'll do a detailed video talking about how you can apply for a trademark. It's easy to do. You don't need to hire a lawyer. You're just going to go to uspto.gov and you're going to go through the step-by-step process and you can apply for your own trademark. And as I mentioned, this video is part of a series of videos that I'm doing documenting the entire process of starting an Amazon business. If you want to learn more about the series, click right here to start the playlist from the beginning.